And then there's you. How could you kill one of your own kind in cold blood?
Meanwhile,
You are going to tell the world that we are the one and only true justice.
There are a lot of people who surprisingly have issues with the fact that Queen Maeve survived. It's like, she's a Mary Sue. How dare they do this and make her character survive? I mean, The Boys has essentially been dropping little nuggets of information throughout the entire season. They've just essentially gone over your head. So we're just going to compile all that information to essentially explain why it is that Queen Maeve essentially survived Soldier Boy's blast, and she was just basically rendered powerless. I mean, even though she still lost her eye because of Homelander. So the very first soup who gets blasted by Soldier Boy is Kimiko. And the argument that a lot of people are making is that when he hits you with the blast, you instantaneously are supposed to lose your powers. No. Kimiko gets hit full on with the blast and sent through a wall. And it is after she goes through a wall, when her powers are supposed to kick in and start healing her, they don't. Which means that her durability in the moment when she initially gets blasted was still there. It was there when she got hit. It was there when she went through the wall. It was there when she landed on the floor, but it was not there to kick in her Wolverine healing factor to basically heal the damage, which is why they had to get her up out of there. Now, the second argument that people make is, well, the power killed Scarlet Sorceress? Scarlet Witch? I don't remember what her name is. She was like in one episode. But that chick who used to sleep with Soldier Boy, like, he basically barbecued her. Here's the issue. No one on Payback is bulletproof, with the exception of Noir. He was probably the most durable out of all the members of Payback. But none of them were bulletproof. They just essentially had powers. There's a scene where Mallory wakes up and she's surveying the battlefield, and all of them have injuries. They've got cuts, scrapes, they're bleeding. They're fucked up. One of the members of the TNT twins got shot in the leg, and the other one's crying over the fact that he has an injury. So no one on that team is bulletproof, especially for Crimson Countess, due to the fact that both Frenchie and Kimiko were able to almost subdue her with no issue whatsoever. And she was able to get away. They're dangerous, of course. Like, she's able to zap you with that energy blast, instantaneously kill you. But you could walk up and shoot her in the head, and she would die, like, right off the bat. For Soldier Boy, he hit her with a blast at point blank range. Like, he literally stood in front of her, supercharged the ability, and then blasted her. For somebody who has the durability of a regular human, but who just has soup powers, she was going to die. And that is what she did. She instantaneously got vaporized and barbecued across the board. For Maeve, this episode really essentially pushed to the forefront just how strong Maeve is. And we've kind of known that Maeve was always strong. The problem is that for the first two seasons, outside of when she shows up to beat the shit out of Stormfront, The Boys never really takes the time to show us just how strong Maeve is until she's fighting Homelander. Now, an argument could be made that Homelander wasn't taking the fight serious. I actually disagree. I think that when he says Maeve, not right now, and he attempts to turn away, and then she starts fighting him, once she starts getting those licks in, he gets pissed off enough that he's actually attempting to kill her. And she's basically fending for herself for a good while. She's the first and only person to break his nose and also draw blood twice, where she breaks his nose and then she stabs him in the ear with the metal rod, which shows that Maeve is strong enough, if she had a weapon, to puncture Homelander's skin, because she can apply the amount of force required to crack his impenetrable shell. It's really difficult to say words tonight, but we are going to proceed. Now, what exactly happens? Maeve, with all of her durability, tackles Soldier Boy out of the window. Soldier Boy detonates. Now, when he detonates, it's not really that far from the ground. I feel as though people feel as though, like, when you jump out of a building, you're in the air for about 4 minutes. Vought Tower is probably around as somebody who's lived in New York, Vought Tower is maybe around, what, 30 floors? Because if I remember correctly, Homelander mentioned something along the lines of the view from the 27th, and I think the 27th is the top floor in that building, and that's essentially where the 7 are, and then Edgar is on like the 21st or something along those lines. But she basically tackles him from like the middle of the building, so I'd say they were probably on like the 15th floor. So that's mega momentum flying down. He detonates, she gets blasted away, she lands in the alley. All of that happened within maybe like 10 seconds. Tackled out of the window, detonation goes off, lands in the alley. Lands in the alley, attempts to probably get up, and all of that pain from both fighting Homelander and getting hit by that blast kicks in, and she just collapses, which is where they find her later in the alleyway, completely powerless with I believe a broken arm, which she did not have when she was fighting Homelander because she was giving him the work. But yeah, like, it makes sense that Maeve survived. I'm not exactly shocked that she did. To be quite honest, I would have been shocked if they had decided to basically kill her with that blast. But at the same time, I'm not outraged that Maeve survived and she's off in like fucking Kansas somewhere with her girlfriend, basically like planting vegetables as a retired superhero. But yeah, that's basically a breakdown as to how exactly Maeve survived. She had 3 things. She had durability, due to the fact that she's almost as strong as Homelander. She had luck, due to the fact that she tackled him out of the window, and I'm fairly certain she probably didn't even hold on to him. She just tackled him out the window and let go. And then it takes a minute for Soldier Boy's blast to basically depower a soup. Like, a nice last outro person I'm going to point to is Termite. When we see Termite, he's shrunk and he can't basically turn himself back big. That's because he got hit by Soldier Boy's blast, and he's also extremely durable, and the blast basically knocked him out of the mansion. But after a few seconds, the powers went away and he was essentially stuck as being super small, which is why when Homelander landed, even though he didn't land with any amount of force, as soon as he landed on top of Termite, he popped like a balloon. But yeah, that's basically it. Catch you next one. Peace.